Welcome to Rooted in Liberty, the podcast where small town stories meet unbelievable truths. Here, we sit back, relax, and share the kind of tales you just can't make up. These are the true, yet extraordinary moments from our own lives. Stories that could only happen in a place like Liberty, Kentucky.
All right, this is it. Our very first time. My name's Chris Humphrey, and I got over here beside me. What's your name, buddy? He's camera shy.
Josh Edwards. Josh Edwards.
Bring that mic a little bit close to you. It's all right.
Josh Edwards.
Edwards. Edwards here. Edwards with an E.
Edwards with an E. So here we are. This is my first time doing anything like this.
All right.
I did some speaking in high school, but nothing like this. And this is very high tech on my end. But thought everybody likes, well, a lot of people like listening to podcasts, and I like podcasts, certain ones. Chris does, and I've got a lot of stories, I guess, to tell. I guess I got a lot of stories that's happened throughout life, and some I can't tell on here, but we'll just, I don't know how it'll go. We'll just start telling stories and
Introduce our name. Tell them what our name is. What's our name?
I'm sorry.
We're good.
Welcome. This is Rooted in Liberty.
Liberty,
Kentucky. So we're the little county that looks like the shape of Texas, or shaped like Texas. Pretty good sized county in central Kentucky, south central Kentucky. And I don't know how many people are here, how many people we got, but there's quite a few. And we're kind of the westernmost part of Appalachia, however you say it.
Appalachia. I guess it depends what part of Kentucky you're in.
I guess depending on how deep into Appalachia you are, depending on how you say it. But, yeah, we just thought we'd come together, and Chris has got the techie side of this down. He's got all the equipment, and
You got all the stories.
And I got some stories. I ain't got them all, and I mean, I've got some. It's not, I got to get used to talking to other people besides you.
I know.
In this.
All right. No one else is here. It's me and you.
I know.
No,
I know.
Don't worry about that.
But it's weird. It's going to take a time or two to get used to that. But I've sat here and trying to think of a story to tell, and
all right.
Of course, it don't matter if you've heard my story because
I know.
I'm not necessarily talking to you, but there'll be other stories out there that you haven't heard that, and who knows, we run out of stories, we'll just start making them up. But what we may end up doing is getting some guest speakers, we'll call them in, and
some good
people that I know that have stories or that would be interested in telling stories, and just let's see where it goes. But we want to keep it, for those of you who don't know, we're currently in Grace Baptist Church, where we go to church. Chris is the pastor. I am the song leader. I told somebody.
What'd you tell?
I told somebody. I can't remember who it was.
No, last month we had Pastor Appreciation Month, and he kept telling everybody when we're going to have Song Leader Appreciation Month.
Yeah, because, song leaders got to get up there and sing. I mean, it ain't nothing to get up there and talk in front of people, but
someone told me preaching is just a glorified book report.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's,
yeah. Well, singing, and nobody likes singing.
No.
Or most people don't like singing, especially in old country church you go to, and people they whisper, they sing Amazing Grace. They don't get into it, and unless they can just sing really well.
Yep.
And even me, I can't sing very well at all. What I was going to say is I told somebody that I was the worship leader you got off Temu.
Oh, yeah. That's Temu worship leader.
Temu worship leader. I'm not what you thought you were going to get. But so years ago I say years ago. Yeah, it'd been years because it'd been 4 or 5 years ago. Before Chris came to this church, we had another pastor, and we went to a conference and somewhere, and I got felt convicted to lead singing. Felt like I needed to do something, so I said, "Hey, I'll be the song leader." if that's all right. And he said, yeah, sure. If that's what you feel like God wants you to do, go for it. And the current song leader, he didn't care. He which was Biscuit, Philip. Y'all might meet him one of these days.
Right.
I doubt it, but it's possible. He didn't care for me to help out or to do part of it. So I'd get up there and I don't know. I like to make people laugh. I like to tell stories. So I'd get up there and tell a story. And at that time, there was some things happening in my life that were weird. There was some stories that came about in that time of my life that I would tell at church on Sunday morning to liven people up, get them laughing, get them to wake them up. And that's how I would start leading singing. And then I run out of stories. I mean, not that I run out, but I just current event type stories like I don't even want to tell what one of the stories might be because I don't give it away.
Right.
I'll tell you what, I'll say it like this for those of you watching. I've got a car wash story.
Oh, that's all I'm classic.
That's the classic. That's a very, it's true, 100% true. I just, it's a funny story.
We should go do that one at the car wash.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, I don't know if they'd appreciate that or not though, because the car wash didn't really get. I got off pretty scot-free on that gig, but the car wash, I don't know if they had to. I think they probably lost money or something. Anyways, they might not let us over there to do it. We might have to go just sit in our truck, go to the funeral home. Yeah, go to the funeral home. So, but I guess
we were talking about what story to tell tonight, and I was like, the elevator pitch. If you run to somebody you ain't never gonna meet before on the elevator, what's the one story they got to hear before they get out of it? And I think that's hopefully that may be next week's episode.
Yeah, we may. We'll throw it in there pretty soon, but I just didn't want to throw it in there today.
No, we don't want to.
I tell you what, I'm gonna give you a story, and I don't know if you've heard it, Chris.
All right.
You've heard the topic. This is going to be what I'm going to title as my tanning bed story.
I'm nervous.
Yeah. So, me and Ashley, my wife Ashley, we've been together 12 years or something like that. Not married, but together, and we've been married 9. But so we got together in 2012. I'll not forget it because April 19th of 2012 is when we started dating.
Okay.
And that is a significant date in my life, but it's also my first cousin's birthday, April 19th. So it's 6 days after my birthday, April 13th. So I can remember that. But we were dating, and Tommy and Laura, the in-laws, they decided we were going to go to Holiday World, Indiana, or Santa Claus, Indiana, to Holiday World.
Okay.
You ever been?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I've only been once. Now, I grew up just a farm boy that never wore shorts.
Okay.
I had a farmer's tan, but anything, my arms and my neck was the only thing dark on me. Everything else was white as a sheet. So what's Holiday World? Well, I'd never been out of Kentucky, a little bit, but not much. And I said, well, what's Holiday World? Well, it's a water park and an amusement park. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to take my shirt off at some point in time. And I didn't want to be the big white whatever walking around with goofy looking tan lines. So I thought, you know what? I'll go to tanning bed. Because you see these people, they go to tanning bed and they get tanned up, and never been in a tanning bed, never even been around a tanning bed, but I knew how it worked. You laid down, whatever. So over in Liberty, in the county seat of Case County is Liberty, and I go over there. We had Movie Town, which is where the Nutty Nanas is now.
Oh, okay.
Next to Shelter Insurance.
All right.
We were looking at it today when we left. Or yesterday. And you would go in there and they had DVDs, kind of like a Blockbuster.
Okay.
But DVDs
family movie kind of.
Yeah. You go in there but they also had tanning beds in the back. It's one of them deals where you get piercings if you wanted. I don't know, but I don't think they did that.
Yes, sir.
But I can remember as a kid going in there a little bit and get a movie Or I say a kid, I was probably driving at the time, but I don't ever remember going in there with mom and dad.
Right.
But, so I go to Movie Town. I'm going to get in the tanning bed because we're going on this trip. So, I went with Ashley. She took me, and she explained to me how to operate the bed and turn it on. And
it was a lay down bed, right?
Lay down bed.
Lay down bed.
So I think I asked the girl working or the person working, hey, I'm a pretty big guy. I'm 6'6". I'm long. I don't want my feet to stick out and not be tan. And my rest of me be tan. So she put me in the told me like room 2,
right?
But longest bed they had. It's also the hottest bed they had, but I didn't know what that meant. So they gave me them little goggles, little weird-looking little goggles you put on. Ashley told me, she said, you go in there, you've never been in one before, you got to kind of take it slow.
Right, like 5 minutes.
Yeah. She told me like 5 minutes. I didn't listen, is the best way to put it. So I go in, and I strip off,
right,
completely naked. And somebody had told me, I just want to, and I'm going to keep this as PG, clean as I can.
Kids are listening.
But I had on my goggles, and I had on a sock. And, you can use your imagination there. But that's what I was told to do. So I laid down the bed, and I remember it plain as day. You lay down, you close the bed, and on to one side or the other, there's the button.
The timer.
The timer is right there. Or it may have been outside. I don't remember. But I put it on, I punched it a time or two or something, and then it said 5 or whatever. And I'm laying there, nothing's happening.
Right.
It ain't getting hot. The lights ain't coming on. Nothing.
Oh.
I pushed the button again. And what ended up happening is I ended up pushing it and turning it up to like 10 minutes or a longer period of time. And I was in there a good little bit, not in there an hour.
Right.
But I was in there longer than I should have been for a first timer.
Especially if you're pure white.
Yeah. So, excuse me. I'm in there for a little bit. Either she knocked on the door and said, hey, you need to get out or whatever. I get out, I've always wore glasses, put my glasses on, and I'm getting dressed, and I'm aggravated. I'm not tan.
Right.
I'm still white. And I don't get it. I thought, people go in these tanning beds and they get tan.
Right.
Well, then I learned that there's like some stand-up spray beds, that you can use, which I didn't. I just thought I'm sick of it. I'm done with it. I'll figure something else out. I get in the car.
And then
we start heading toward Tom and Laura's house. They lived out in Clemensville,
right,
where they by his mom,
right.
And we're going down the road, and I said, I'm aggravated. I'm not tan. She's like, it takes time. Well, then it started setting in. I started turning red, and then it started hurting.
Yeah.
And it was like you see them people get just burnt too bad where they just can't move. That's how I remember feeling. And we got to her house. We were the only ones there. We go in. I just kind of tiptoe my way in. And I said, well, you got to do something. You got to do something to help me. And she said, well, I got like aloe vera lotion, that stuff for sunburn and stuff. And get a whole jug. Go to the store and get more if you need it. I got to have something. So I stripped off naked.
Oh, yeah.
In the living room and laid down on the couch, face down. And she lathered me up. Well, then she got to laughing. And what's so funny? And she couldn't control herself. She got to laughing. So much so that she had just got her phone and took a picture of my entire backside from my neck to my ankles.
Yeah.
And what was so funny was there was a bulb out. So I was red as a lobster, but I had a strip of white from like up one leg, one butt cheek, up my back that was not burnt. So
from laying on that dead bulb.
From laying on that dead bulb. And it was funny, so funny that I always like telling stories. I printed off that picture I mean, it showed my butt and all. I printed off the picture.
Did you take it to the tanning bed place?
Nope. I folded it up and I put it in my wallet. And when I would go somewhere like here to tell a story, hey, you want to see a picture?
All right. Oh.
And I'd show it to people. I didn't care. You know, everybody's got a butt.
All right.
But I carried that thing around for a long time, and I've lost it since then. Or otherwise, I'd show it to you. I'm glad we don't have it. But on a computer somewhere, it's there as a file.
There's a file
somewhere. I want to find it.
It's on a floppy disk.
Probably Tommy's house or in the basement or something. I'm going to get that from him before it goes into the wrong hands.
Like a Christmas card.
Christmas card.
Katie Kane.
Yeah.
Katie Kane's.
Well, speaking of that, see, that's what I like about this storytelling thing. Is
right.
I seem to have a story.
And we only been going 15 minutes, so.
Yeah, I seem to have a story for a lot of things. Like right here, you mentioned Christmas cards.
Christmas cards.
Well, so my brother-in-law, Daniel, and his wife, they've gotten this habit where they'll take an embarrassing picture of me that either I take or somebody takes throughout the year. And they'll take that picture, they'll blow it up, and they'll decorate it, however. And they'll wrap it up and give it to Tommy and Laura as a gift. So the first year was just some goofy-looking picture of me. I was just a headshot. I was making some weird face. They wrapped it up, framed it, wrapped it up, put it under the tree at Tommy and Laura's for Christmas with their name on it. And they opened it up, and it was a big laugh, you know, picture of Josh, whatever. Well, they ended up, excuse me, they ended up hanging that in their dining room.
Right.
It's the only picture in the whole room. Every time we'd eat, there I'd be, sitting up there watching over the table, you know. The second year, or whatever, but the next time they done it, I had took a picture from out behind my house, where I live now. No shirt on, and I'm just standing there like this.
All right.
Took a selfie, and sent it to the group or whatever, and then they took that picture and decided, hey, we'll use this. They blew it up. They put a fake cigarette hanging out of my mouth, tassels on my, you know.
All right.
Some snow, maybe holding a bucket with snowballs in it or something, or candy canes. I don't remember. I'm going to get them and bring them in and show you.
We'll see.
Just,
we'll see. We'll have to use these off the camera.
Yeah. Here, look at this. Can I show them? No. Okay. But that was my little Christmas card story thing. It's funny. I'm curious to see what they do this year.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I take so many stupid pictures. I don't remember what.
I need to get with them this year because I could really do some Photoshop for them.
There you go. You the man for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
This is just amateur hour, what we're doing.
I guess.
But
tell them what you do for a living.
So
this is our sponsor. I'm just kidding.
I sponsored this show by being here today. I paid for all this equipment.
All right.
Not really. But so I own a tree service, Edwards Tree LLC in Liberty, or based out of Liberty. I'm 5 years in, and I haven't looked back since, or haven't. I tell people, they say, well, you staying busy, like Brother Bud. He every time it seems like I see him all the time, and he's like, well, you staying busy? And my favorite little saying, and it's held true thus far, is I haven't had to go look for a tree to cut.
Right.
I haven't had to go knock on doors to try to find work. It's coming in, and it's a blessing. And I guess the best thing to do is, you know, let me say this to the viewing audience first. You know, right now we're in his office in our church, and he's a pastor, and I'm a song leader, and we're both saved, we're both Christians, and we want to keep this as clean and as Christian as possible. We're not going to Bible thump you or nothing like that, but there may be some prayer. We may get emotional there. Who knows? But we want to put God first, and somehow this may make a difference in somebody's life. I don't know.
Right.
It's possible.
You never know.
But I want to roll that biblicalness into my business. I've worked a lot of jobs over there, you know, it seemed like every 2 years I'd get a new job. And that's how it was. I worked here for 2 years, and it wasn't just like, well, 2 years up, it's time for me to go. But after 10 years, it just seemed like I had 5 jobs in that 10 years, every one of them 2 years apiece. And my most recent job before the tree service, I was carrying the mail. I was a sub, we're at the post office in Liberty. And, you make good money, but you're only guaranteed 1 day a week. Is this too far away? Or?
Yeah, if you bring a little closer.
All right.
It's all right, though.
Because I'm sitting back now. But it just seems like I'm screaming.
Right.
I guess I could whisper.
You can whisper.
So I was carrying the mail, making good money, and they paid you mileage and all that, but you had to supply your own vehicle and hard on brakes and stuff like that. But you were only guaranteed, as a sub, you're only guaranteed 1 day a week. That was whatever day that your regular guy would want it off. Most of them was Saturday.
I figure Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, most of them was Saturday, and you were guaranteed as a sub to probably get 1 day a week, probably a Saturday, days after a holiday. So, the day after Memorial Day, super busy. The regular, he's getting paid. He gets a vacation day, but he gets paid for the holiday. So we're guaranteed to work that hard day. And it made it hard. There was, you messes your weekends up. Is you got to work every Saturday. Ashley had a job, so messes with kids.
Right.
Family dinners, Christmas, Thanksgiving, stuff like that. It messed with it. So, and it still does with those people today. It's still hard on them, but you're only guaranteed that 1 day a week of work. And if if it was $200 or whatever you made, that was it. And I had bills. We didn't own a house yet, but we had bills, and it just wasn't cutting it. So my grandpa, he worked for Asplin Tree Experts for 30 years, and he got hurt, and we can talk about that some other time. But I kind of learned a thing or two from him, and kind of thought, well, hey, he's got his old gear. I could climb a tree, or I can use a saw. I can start cutting trees for people. So I did. I just had a little Dodge Dakota pickup truck that I carried the mail in, a trailer that I borrowed from Tommy, little big trailer, and I had my own saw, but I didn't have any climbing gear. But my grandpa had his old climbing gear, and this old stuff, old leather belt, uncomfortable with a butt strap. And
oh yeah.
Then them horrible leather gaff spikes, and I started doing some odd job. I climbed what I had to. I just fell what I could, loaded everything on it, the little bitty trailer, hauled it away, and wasn't making any money, but it felt like I was. But it got
we're good.
It started expanding, or it started getting bigger, we'll say, and I got more and more people wanting me to cut their trees. And like I said, I was doing it for nothing. There was another tree service in the county, and I couldn't compete with him per se, but I could undershoot him. Not that I wanted to, but
right.
If you needed a tree cut and I could do it for a lot less, then I'd get the job. And I didn't want to be that low ball guy, but that's where I was at. And so I took long story short, I'll speed it up. I bought a chipper.
Okay.
And an old 6-inch chipper. And I bought a chip truck to blow the chips into. And I think I had a bigger pickup truck at the time, and I had a different trailer, and I had a boy working with me a little bit. I can't remember exactly how it all played out, but back to the biblical part of it. I got to a point where I was losing. The post office wanted you to give them priority. They wanted you to be priority to them. So they needed you, you was there. Well, if I'm at your house cutting a tree and they call me, then I'm supposed to go. I'm supposed to leave. I got to the point where I was losing tree customers because I had to give priority to the post office. And it just, I didn't like carrying the mail that much. it was going to be a long time before seniority based. It was going to be a long time before I got a full-time route. So me and Ashley talked about going full-time and with tree service, and that's a leap of faith, because guaranteed income, guaranteed steady, same amount every week kind of income versus you got to go out and make it yourself. And what happens if it rains? We thought of everything. I thought we thought of everything. And all we could do was give it to God and pray about it. And I came to peace with it. And I think she did too. Can't speak for her 100% because I don't remember. But like I said, it's been 5 years ago since I went. No, it ain't been that long. 2020 is when I started cutting trees.
When'd you go full time?
I can't remember. It would have been 21, 22-ish.
Yeah.
But my business was established in 2020 is what I say. So 20, 21, 22, 23, this is 24, which is the 5th year. And it was somewhere January, February is when I started. So, but like I said, we give it to God. We prayed about it. People told us no, even family, you don't need to do that. You need to do this. You got a good federal job, you always have a job. And there at the end of the post office, when I was there, I was running. Once you learned your route and you got good on it, they let you learn other routes so that you could sub more than one day a week. So I knew route 1, 2, 3, 5, and Dunville route. So I knew 5 routes.
Right.
And I could almost work every day and make good money. But you didn't have any retirement. You had to, because you were a sub, you had to take care of that yourself, or I don't remember how it all worked out, but.
All right, you're just probably like a contract.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, you got paid.
Like a temp.
You're a temp, pretty much. Same probably benefits apply. And, but anyways, we got peace about it, and I put him a 2-week notice or whatever, and quit, and haven't even looked back. I've had them come to me, and other carriers be like, "Hey, when you coming back? We could use some subs, or we could use whatever." And I'm like, "Not me."
Right.
If I don't ever have to come back, I'm not going to.
Right.
Same way with when I worked at Tartars and Dunville. Hated it. I was there 2 years, hated it. And I told him, I said, if I never have to work in a factory again, then I won't. And if I do, it won't be here, kind of thing,
Right.
But, and not to knock them guys, but I'm just not. I worked in a couple factories, in a warehouse, but I like being outside.
Yeah.
Tree service, every tree is different. Every job's a little different. We've gotten into doing some conservation type stuff, so I like that, and I like that more than the cutting trees. It just may not pay as well, but that's me. That's who I am, and I've got a wife and 3 kids and
A dog.
got a dog named Otis, off of Andy Griffith's show. He don't look nothing like Otis. And that's another thing on this podcast. Y'all probably going to hear some Andy Griffith show references.
Not from me.
Not from Chris. Now, Chris is from
Louisville.
From
the city.
He's a city boy, moved to the country to pastor a little country church, and he's he didn't know who Andy Griffith was.
I knew of him, but never watched any of his shows.
Yeah. Well, I grew up watching Andy Griffith, and I'll put this out there. I like the first 5 seasons at black and white more than I like the color episodes, and I've got other people to back me up on that. But
maybe that could be a topic when.
Well, yeah, it could be.
We could get like you and maybe Tommy and kind of break down why y'all think that.
Yeah, and me and Tommy, which is my father-in-law, all the time, we'll be sitting around talking and about anything, and it'll be like, "Oh, you remember on that episode where Andy did this or Barney said that or whatever?" It's just they went to Mount Airy, North Carolina.
They went to Mayberry.
Yep, they went to Mayberry, and they brought me back a shirt, which it don't fit me anymore. It shrunk or something.
Yeah.
And they brought back a book that I keep beside my toilet because that's the only place I ever read it. And it's trivia. Mayberry, like 2,000 Mayberry trivia questions.
Right.
And I don't know all the answers to them, but I like to look at it and you know, try to guess, get them right. But you'll probably hear a lot about Andy Griffith.
Oh, yeah. We're just checking to make sure everything's. This is our first time, and we may swap it out somehow. We're going to sit out, but we just wanted to get episode 1. We've only been 30 minutes.
30 minutes? What's that? It seems like I've talked for an hour.
I'll tell you, buddy.
But I'm more comfortable now than I was 30 minutes ago.
Right.
Because it was just, the only thing I'm thinking about is eye contact, which right now I'm looking at the computer.
All right.
Because I'm there.
All right.
It's weird hearing myself here and talking to you at the same time.
It's different. I've done a fair share helping people with podcasts, and I guess being a producer of podcasts, and I've had all this stuff and done live streams, and I got a background in photo and video, and I've done sports professionally, photo, video, and this is kind of my hobby, expertise, what I know the best. So,
yeah. And you're good at it.
I guess.
Good at it.
I've made a lot of mistakes.
Well, that's how you get good at it. Same way with trees.
All right.
I'll tell you this, I've learned a lot on YouTube.
Yeah.
You can, what I would do is I found 3 or 4.
YouTube University, buddy.
Yeah, I found 2, 3, 4 guys on YouTube that have been doing this stuff for years, tree stuff.
Right.
And they've started making their videos educational, so to speak.
Right.
Like there's one guy called, his title is The Educated Climber, tree climber, you know, and he'll kind of teach you things, not just making videos.
Right.
And, you know, I'd see him do something and I'd think, well, I'm going to try that. I'd go try it and it worked. It worked out a lot better than what I was doing before. So, you know, I took from him and from some other guys and learned some things, learned some different cuts to use in the tree and on the ground, and notches for fallen trees and knots to tie. And, you know, there's a blue million knots out there to tie.
Yeah, I think I know how to tie is my shoes.
My shoes, yeah.
And I'm lucky to do that.
Yeah, and you wear slip-ons most of the time.
I do wear cowboy boots or Hey Dudes.
Yeah, Hey Dudes.
Or Crocs.
Got Crocs. Now, see, we can get on Crocs.
I got a pair of Crocs house.
Belong, no socks.
Okay.
Socks and Crocs don't go together.
Socks and Crocs.
They don't go together. Even though they rhyme.
All right.
You see people with socks and Crocs on, and I don't like it.
You got a favorite color Croc?
So I've only ever had 2 pair of Crocs. The first pair I had was a pair of camo, like a duck blind, mossy oak kind of camo. And I had a dog chewed them things up. I mean, I had them for a couple years.
All right.
They were good and broke in. Dog chewed them up. So I contemplated buying another pair, and I hadn't.
All right.
And my brother, he's got sensitive feet.
Yeah.
And he bought a pair of these kind of like some Navy SEAL camo Crocs.
Yeah, they're like faded.
Yeah, they're like the blue and the dark colored camo. But on Crocs, you got on where your foot goes in, you got all them little bitty things that stick up. You know, it's just a little grip or whatever. He didn't like it. He didn't like how it felt on his feet. So he gave them to me. We got the same size foot.
Okay.
He gave them to me, and I wear them, and I don't know, they're all right. But I don't have now I'm not going to go out here and buy these fuzzy Crocs, and I'm not
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, I saw those Crocs that had look like cowboy boots.
Oh, buddy, I want those.
That'd fit you well.
Oh,
you can wear them with a pair of shorts.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
They got some with the fuzz inside.
Yeah.
The wintertime.
Wintertime. That's just silly. Your ankle's still going to get cold.
Right.
But I'm just a regular old, plain old Croc. Prefer camo just because I'm not a big plain colors guy.
Right.
My least favorite color, I would wear pink before I wore black.
Black's my favorite color, buddy.
Now, my wife, like your favorite color altogether. Out of all the colors in the world, black's your favorite color.
I have more black shirts. Black shirt with gray pants is my go-to.
Is it?
You ever notice?
Because your wife tells you look good in that color or something?
I don't know. They said genius wears the same color of clothes every day.
Well, you don't.
I don't.
I don't either. I'm a blue jean. I love wearing shorts. Like I said earlier,
All right.
growing up, I didn't wear shorts. Just didn't.
Okay.
But since I've gotten older, I love them. They're just get the hair flowing, you know.
Yeah.
I tell you one, it's going to sound funny. One of my favorite things is cutting a tree down with a pair of shorts on.
Oh, we
that
got
warm sawdust hitting you, just I can't think of the word, pelleting your leg
right.
as you, and it don't hurt, but just that warm sawdust on your leg, that makes you feel all fuzzy.
And I got a little story about that, helping you. I had shorts on. Remember that time?
No.
I was helping you somewhere in Campbellsville.
Okay.
And I got pine sap on my leg. Ladies, if you want the perfect stuff to put on your legs to keep that hair off,
Some pine.
go get some fresh pine tar.
Yep.
I still think I got a bald spot right on my shin. It was smooth.
Yep. It just pulled it right out. That pine.
We should go bottle that and sell it for hair removal.
Well, yeah, that's an idea.
It's a fret. It's like, what do you call it? Those nature folks would love it because it's right there. No chemical free,
non-GMO,
gluten
free pine tar. Actually, we were talking the other day. Something about we was in the Bible. I don't remember where I was at.
Right.
But in some verse, it said the word pitch.
Right.
Pitch.
Right.
Well, pitch is another term for pine sap or pine tar.
Okay.
And I guess it was Noah. We was talking about Noah.
Right.
And then with Genesis, I think chapter 6.
Yeah.
God's, telling him how to build the ark and this, that, and the other, how long and what to do and all that. And he mentions pitch. I'd have to get a Bible out to find it, but he mentions pitch. And the only thing I can figure is to waterproof.
Right.
As it when he laid them boards together or log or however he built that thing.
Right.
To put between to keep the water out. And it would after it hardened up. And I would say that's what pilgrims and old country folk and people in Alaska, I don't know, that's what they probably used for a water seal or waterproof their homes and boats, and Indians probably did it. I don't know, but it's got a purpose. Around here in Kentucky, I'm gonna say Kentucky. I'm just gonna leave Case County. Pine, we have no use for pine. Pine is it's very soft.
Right.
You go to Lowe's and buy a 2x4, it's a yellow pine. Most of your pines around here are an eastern white pine, and they've just got too many knots in them when you go to making lumber out of it. Too many knots, too many breaking points. They're a softwood, and if you were to burn it, they burn hot, they burn fast, but you'll stop your flue up burning pine in a chimney or in your stove and in a chimney. It's a good way to burn your house down.
Right.
So, most people just throw it away. Some people saw it. If you get one that don't have many limbs on it, some people saw it up into some lumber. But that old pine tar, I just don't. If you ask Daniel, we've got a little poll going, what's your favorite to least favorite tree to clean up?
I tell you what, my least favorite tree to clean up right now is that pear tree.
Yeah, from Lancaster.
Those little
pears.
Oh my goodness!
So we cut one Monday.
Okay.
And it was a trimming job. We cut one Monday, and them little things was everywhere.
Right.
And do I need a link?
No, they're good. I can get you.
Well, them little, not even on the screen anymore.
Verily.
Well, I'll get up here a little bit.
We're at 40 minutes, so
40. Well, we'll get a few more minutes.
Yeah.
And what time is it?
It is. Oh, look at your phone.
My wife might be getting mad.
It's not
10:10. Be home in a minute, dear. Well, yeah, them Bradford
Bradford.
pears or calorie pears or whatever they are.
They're a nightmare.
They're them little pears. That job you helped on that.
Right.
The first day we were there, it's in suburbs in Lancaster, and nice, pretty neighborhood, and we cut these trees and the little pears. We rake up. We do a good cleanup job, but you can't get all them little pears.
There's a billion of them.
Millions of them, and
They're
tiny, and the rake won't get them, and they hide in the grass and whatnot. And we move on to the next tree, and that guy who lived there, he come out of the bucket and got on his hands and knees. He was picking them up, and I said, "Are you gonna pick all them up?" He said, "Yeah, I'm just bored." Yeah, we'll try to do our best raking, but I ain't getting there picking them things up.
Tell you what, the best thing was that leaf blower.
Yeah,
You can try to blow them as much as you can.
now me and Daniel, we talked about that. Now he can get that leaf blower.
Huh?
And he can move all of Earth with it. He can go to blowing and get everything moving, and it does a good job. I can't.
Right.
And I tell you why I think it is. I think it's because I'm too tall.
I was going to say he's too short.
Well, he's so short that his angle.
He's got that low angle on the ground.
Low angle. Mine's more of just a vertical blow, and
You're pushing down. You're pushing down at it.
And his is pushing
out
under, and yeah. And I said, well, it don't work for me. I'll just rake. But,
yeah, but your rake, though, they had those gaps in it, and those things kept going through.
Yeah. I like them little metal rakes, and they're tore all to pieces. But
if you want to sponsor, you can sponsor some rakes. Get a little rake sponsor.
Me?
Oh, we could.
Somebody could send us some rakes. That way we can, get done with gun patcher. Or some of them steel backpack leaf blowers.
Yeah.
We just need one.
So,
It's like $800, but we just need one.
Just need one.
And Daniel loves that.
If you're feeling generous.
Yeah, just whatever. Now, we don't have any sponsors really right now.
No.
Like I said, this is the first gig getting ready. There's going to be some items mentioned, and there's going to be some brands mentioned.
Yeah.
Like we've already mentioned Crocs and Hey Dude.
Right.
Steel. But I tell you what fuels this right here. Fuel. Oh. Good thing it wasn't open. This right here is fueling both of us right now. I haven't drank mine, but I've already had one today. And somebody said Donald Trump was getting rid of all energy drinks. Not Donald, but RFK Jr.
I'd be sad.
I don't know if he does or not. We'll have to start hoarding it.
He start buying cases.
Buying it by the case. Or maybe if Red Bull just sponsors and
all right, they got right. No, have you? There's a little gas station in town, right in town. That A&D.
A&D.
They got every energy drink company.
Yeah, you go to a
5-star.
Go to 5-star. You go to whatever mom and pop, and they've got Red Bull or Monster or this. But you go to A&D, and they got a wall. That's like a mile long. Not really.
All right.
But, and you go on it, they
got all the new flavors.
Yep.
It's like the black market of energy drinks.
Yeah. That's right there with the laundromat and the vape shop and the gas station are all right there together. And now I used to work there.
Oh, yeah? The laundromat?
No, didn't used to be a laundromat. The store A&D, I worked there. William Shootman owned it.
Okay.
And that was my first job right out of high school, my first job. It's also the first job I got fired from. So that's another story for another day, just because we're going to run out of time.
All right. We got about a couple minutes.
Yeah, but we'll wrap it up. What kind of outro do you want to do?
I don't know.
Like, do you want to do anything at the end?
Well, what we can do is tell everybody to make sure they can like.
Yeah.
They can share, comment. If you got a funny story, I may get an email address going.
Yeah.
They send us their funny story.
And we can tell it.
We can read it.
Yeah, we can read it, and we'll do our best. We'll read it ahead of time.
Right.
And we'll try to put a little spin on it.
All right.
Not that way it's just not monotone.
All right.
The dog jumped out of the truck.
All right.
No, we don't want to say that.
If you got a funny story, comment or message us. I'm going to have some Facebook page stuff create. Like literally, this is our very first pilot episode.
Pilot. Yeah.
Get him comfortable behind the mic.
Yeah. I'm getting there.
I think he's liking it.
I do. I like it. I like hearing myself talk.
I told him
most people don't.
I told him if tree service don't work out, that he's got a job at the radio station.
Yeah.
You got a face for radio, buddy.
I got a face for radio. I might be the next Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan. You never know. Joe had to start somewhere.
That's right. I remember him on Fear Factor years ago, but we used to watch that at home. But,
you can see his studio, what he's got. His studio's it's massive.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, he's got an archery range, gun range,
Oh, well.
full gym.
I see Steve Ranella got him, Meat Eater.
Yeah.
Got him and that other boy, the other comedian. They went hunting a few times.
Yeah. You never know.
Yeah.
We want to get his brother on here, Tanner.
Yeah.
Tanner's got the best.
Tanner's got some good stories. We're probably going to have a
hitchhike series.
Picking up hitchhiker series.
This is the reason why you don't pick up people.
Yeah. Tanner's got the stories of
we won't tell his stories, but
yeah, I mean his stories. I mean nothing bad happened, but
they're those
things could have happened.
Those unbelievable stories. Like
yeah,
he's got some good hitchhiker stories.
Yeah, Tanner, he's a hoot. That's my younger brother, and I've got a topic to deal with him that I've got on my phone as far as a topic for an episode. But we'll get an email or something set up. Send us your story. We'll read them.
And we'll talk about them.
We'll do whatever, and we'll probably get some guest speakers on here at some point in time.
We got one more mic, so we can bring one more person on,
and we could do more than that. We just might have to move a mic around or something. If we had a couple people, we'll figure it out.
We're learning as we go.
Yeah,
I just want to have a place where his stories can live, because people ain't gonna believe them.
That, and I'm gonna forget them.
Right,
and I probably already forgot some. But
we ain't getting no.
Just popped in my head there. But
put that in your phone.
I will. I need to do that.
He's been tracking his stories in his phone.
Yeah.
And if you know Josh, send us a message or send him a message. Say, tell us that one story.
Yeah.
Because he's probably told you stories before.
Yeah. And if I, and I'll probably repeat. Like if I told you the tanning bed story, you give it a year from now, I might tell it again, or 6 months. I don't know.
Because these stories are worth telling more than once.
Yeah,
that's our slogan.
That's right.
How many messages you got from her?
None.
She's asleep.
Well, she's probably asleep. That's fine. She'll get to see this, and I love you, honey.
If you made it this far, let us know.
Yeah, let us know something.
Yeah.
But thanks for listening. We hope that you tune in. We're going to try to do one a week.
At least once get something out there once a week.
Yeah.
And it may just be audio at first, and we're trying some video. We'll see if it works out.
Yeah.
But the video stuff may be more of the little clips you can see on the shorts, but
or reels or something.
Ideals will be on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. You'll be able to find us there on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok.
I got a TikTok page, Edwards Trees.
Edwards Trees.
Yep.
Go follow Edwards Trees, and if you're in this
page too.
if you're in this area, and if you live in Kentucky and not terribly far from Liberty, Casey County,
we'll travel.
He goes about an hour.
Yeah, about hour and a half. Just depends.
All right.
But how you want to end that?
We can just say goodbye, and that's it.
Hasta lasagna. I've got my eye on you.
Got my eye on you, buddy.
That's off an old movie.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. All right. Peace out.
All right, buddy.